Hello guys, this is Evelyn once again, going back to read my homeworks as a requirement to upload videos and the links for the phonetics class, phonology and phonetics. What is acoustic phonetics? What I put is a study of the physical properties of speech and aims to analyze sound wave signals that occurs within speech through varying frequency, amplitudes, and duration, and it differs on sounds as well. The IPA, which is the phonetic alphabet, the International Phonetic Alphabet, is kind of a map to identify the different sounds. So phonetics is actually the physical properties of speech, as it says, and we have a map, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet, that guides you through that map. So the second question says, what is articulatory phonetics? It's a study of the parts of a vocal tract. These parts are called articulators. The third question says, what is another name of vocal tract? We also know that as an oral cavity. The other one is says, explain the role of the lungs in the speech. The sounds are produced by the air that the lungs expose. The lungs contains the air, and it takes the necessary air for us to produce the sounds. This is helped by the diaphragm as well. The fifth question says, construct aggressive versus ingressive. First of all, aggressive is uttered by pushing air out through the nose to the nose or mouth. The ingressive is uttered by drawing air inward. Ingressive is uttered by drawing air inward through the mouth or nose. So it's just pretty simple. Just aggressive, you push the air out. Ingressive, you push the air in. The contrast of fortis versus lenis is the statement or question number 6. Fortis is the muscular tension and the force of exhalation are greater on the production of voices and consonants, and they are called fortis. And lenis is the degree of muscular tension is weaker on voice sounds. So we have fortis and lenis. The fortis makes it stronger when making voiceless consonants, and the lenis is weaker when making voice sound. Number 7 is, where is the larynx located? The larynx is located on top of the trachea. The larynx contains the vocal cords. Let me show you a kind of a image that I have in here in regards to that. Is this one. So we have the trachea and we have the larynx. You see the larynx, those are supposed to be the vocal cords. We have the trachea, which is like the windpipe, and then we have the larynx, which contains the vocal cords. That was a nice image that I draw. So it says, what does the larynx hold? As I mentioned, the larynx contains the vocal cords or the vocal folds. And question number 9 says, what is the shape and making of vocal cords? The vocal cords can assume 3 configurations. The first one is an open, where the airflow. Question number 9, it says, what is the shape and making of the vocal cords? The vocal cords can assume 3 configurations. The first one is the opened, where you produce voiceless sounds. Since the vocal cords are opened, there's no constriction of the airflow, and the sounds goes through with no vibration. Then we have the closed, where the vocal cords are pressed together, and that produces a glottal stop. And then we have the narrow, which is when the vocal cords are close one to each other, and the airflow sets a vibration. Since this is the vocal cords, they are together, the air passes through, and the vocal cords vibrate for the air to go through, producing voice sounds. So you can touch your throat, and you can feel actually the vibration whenever you're producing any different sound. Question number 10 says, what is their action? Their action is to produce the sound, and also to control and regulate the flow of air into the lungs. So the vocal cords that's pretty smart. It just takes the necessary air for you to produce the sounds, and that controls the airflow that goes in, the ingressive airflow. So what happens when they are close to each other, when they are apart? So we go back. When they're opened, the vocal folds are apart and the air goes out with no constriction, and the vocal folds do not vibrate, producing, as I mentioned before, voiceless sounds. We have the closed one, which is the air passes through the glottis, producing the glottal stop. And also we have the narrow, which is the pressure, the air pressure coming from the lungs makes them vibrate because they're like pressed together, and the air goes through and makes them vibrate for the air to go out, and also that produce the voiced sounds, which are the one that you can feel in here whenever you touch your throat. Question number 12. How is the roof of the mouth divided? We have in the roof of the mouth, we have the alveolar ridge, and we also have the hard palate, as well have the soft palate or velum. That's in the roof of the mouth. And the other one says, what is the function of the hard palate and why? It says it allows the movement of the tongue, and it works as a place of articulation. Question 14. What are the function of the velum and why? It says it's a place of articulation on words like k and g. The velum, not words, voice, like k, g. The velum assumes two positions. It can be lower velum, which is the nasal cavity is available and the oral cavity is blocked. The air passes to the nasal cavity, producing or articulating nasal sounds. We also have the velum raised, which is the nasal cavity is shut and the oral cavity is available, producing oral sounds. The question 15 says, name part of the tongue. The tongue has, let's say, 5 parts. We start with the root of the tongue, then we have the back of the tongue, the front of the tongue, the blade of the tongue, and the tip of the tongue. Question 16. What does the tongue do in the production of vowels? And is that of consonant and in the consonants of sounds? The tongue moves when producing consonant sounds, and it does not move when producing vowel sounds, because vowel sounds are all voiced. Tongue action and vowels can be raised. Difference between the vowels is also a place of articulation. Raised is talking about in regards to the position of the tongue. It has a tongue action, and consonants. Different parts of the tongue are involved on consonants, as t, using the tip of the tongue, and k, using the back of the tongue. Okay, let's go to question 15. The 3 basic positions of the lips. They can be spread, rounded, or neutral. Lip rounding on vowels and lip rounding on labialized consonants. Question 18. In which 3 ways do teeth participate in the production of sounds? We have teeth participate in the production of speech sound, as in dental sound, in which the teeth interact with the tongue. We also have interdental sounds, in which the tongue protrude between the teeth, the upper teeth and the lower teeth. It's like sounds like z, or labiodental sounds. That's the labiodental sounds in like V as in Victor. Labiodental sounds in which the lower lip interacts with the upper teeth, and the following sounds like as in 5. And we also have the V as in Victor. So you produce with the F and the V. You use a labiodental place of articulation. And that was it. I did create, or I did draw this amazing drawing, this amazing picture that shows the lungs, it shows the diaphragm, it shows the trachea or the windpipe that connects with the larynx. Here, as you can see, the larynx contains the vocal cords and also all the parts of the mouth. You have the whole tongue, you have the roof of the mouth, and all those other organs that are really needed for you to produce sounds. I hope you enjoyed this video. I understand that I'm not really a professional making videos, but I'm just doing my best.